Has got to be the most bizarre dress history take I have heard in a long time. Now, this is misinformation. I'm hoping that this person is just misinformed and not purposefully spreading nonsense. It goes thusly. Today I learned that pockets in dresses were phased out so women could prove they were not witches and carrying ill intentions and spells. This is why women love pockets in skirts and dresses now. This is why this is just wrong. So wrong. In Brian Levack's book, The Witch Hunt in Early Modern Europe, he states that the witch trials are at their height between the 1400s and the 1750s, seeming to peak around the 1600s. Now, if the first claimant is to be believed, we wouldn't see instances of pockets becoming more popular rather than less popular throughout history during this time, but that is simply not the case. In an article from the Victorian Albert Museum, they state that tie-on pockets were popular from about 1650 well into the end of the 19th century. So, did medieval women have pockets? The short answer is no, not in the way we think of them. The long answer is yes. Prior to the popularity of the tie-on pocket, which was worn underneath one's clothing typically, and accessed via a slit in your skirt, dress, or petticoat, pockets just weren't a thing built into clothes. It's an inefficient use of material in a time period where fabric is extremely expensive. I've been completely unable to find an extant garment or a recording of garments from the earlier medieval period suggesting that women had pockets sewn into their clothes. More typically, I see pouches worn on belts tied around the waist, both under and over clothing. With the popularity of the tie-on pocket increasing in the mid-1600s, this continues to be a trend until the early 1800s, as hemlines shift up, creating the empire line of the early 1800s. There's nowhere to put your pockets without absolutely ruining the silhouette of your dress. So we start to use reticules, which is the modern precursor to the handbag. It's just a pouch that you tie around your wrist. Modern sewn-in pockets, like the type typically seen in more masculine-coded garments before this period, I can't really find much instance of them prior to the early 1830s. Which, if you think about it, hemlines start to go down, suddenly skirts are bigger, you've got a place to hide built-in pockets now.